Beep, beep. What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World, and I love to make sound design and music production videos for dance music. And this week, we're focusing on techno since we have Paradox Volume 3 coming out. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys one of the sounds from that pack so you can learn how to make them yourself. Now, this is how it's going to sound like to see if it's worth your time. So here's going to be some of the programming for the sound, and this is how you're going to find it inside of Paradox Volume 3 coming out this Thursday night. Other than that, make sure to support my channel over at evilsounds.com if you're looking for massive Serum presets that are usable and not just sound cool, but can actually be used in tracks and make you sound better. With that being said, let's get straight into this tutorial. Now, the first thing to say is if you're looking to take sound design seriously for your own production benefit, make sure that you can pretty much put characteristics to a sound. And what that means is when I hear this sound, I'm hearing a bit of FM, and I'm hearing a lot of punch, and I'm hearing an upper layer to it. You want to kind of, when you hear a sound, you want to kind of put characteristics like that, because that's going to help you in shaping the sound once you understand a bit of the flow that you have inside of Ableton. So what we're going to do is simple. Since I can already hear FM in the sound, I can either choose to go with 2 sine waves in order to execute a bit of FM and whatnot. But traditionally, the reason we use wavetable synthesizers like Serum is so that we don't have to do this. We have pre-recorded wavetables that do this for us, and you're going to find that in the digital section where you're going to find FM, FM Freak, FM Splat, add second, add thirds, add fourths. A lot of these wavetables are going to be created with FM already in mind. So for instance, the one we're going to use for this patch is going to be the FM Freak, which is going to give us this really cool kind of tone. Now, with most FM, in most wavetable synths, the coolest thing about it is that you can modulate the timing, aka the positioning of this guy here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add an envelope 3 just to kind of get this nice little movement. Now, the reason I'm adding this thing again is because when we hear the sound, when we hear the original song, we can hear a bit of FM in it. Now, if you're going like, FM, what the F are you talking about? Again, it will come with time. So again, we're going to have that FM Freak for that reason. And the beautiful thing about wavetable synthesizers is that we can modulate the wavetable, creating a very dynamic full sound. Now from here, again, we talked about there is an upper layer to the sound, but the upper layer is what's giving all the attack to the sound. So we're going to layer this. Now, as you're learning how to make the sound, the cool thing about learning a bit of sound design is that you can also use this in other areas. Let's say you're layering 2 patches together. One of them can apply the hit, while one of them can provide the power. The symbiosis, as we say, 2 sounds that work really well together. So for this one, we're going to go with Weow. For the main reason that I want to kind of use something that's going to be, again, same -3 octave range. But the tone on it just sounded good. Now, again, I didn't just stumble like, oh, I'm going to click randomly. I went through all of these to create the sound until I found the one that I liked. From there, again, I'm going to use maybe envelope 3. From there, I'm going to level this down, and I'm going to pretty much shape that top sound a little differently. The main reason is this is a sound that's providing smack, right? So I can easily go in and put an envelope on that guy, so that way we can get something this. Now, the reason I use an LFO is that it's just a lot simpler to shape it the way I want. With the decay over here, again, it can get finicky, and again, envelope 2, we might use that, and then from there, we have nowhere else to go. From here, again, just adding a bit of movement. Now, don't worry too much about how the way the sound sounds, because we have the main bass sound here. But now from there, the main idea is going to be to subtract from it. So the first thing I'm going to do is use an MG-Low 12 filter to, again, use a filter to give the sound more character, but also give it more of that punch effect that I want from it. So from that, we can use envelope 2, just get it there. Playing with the wavetable position, again, very finicky stuff, but once you have this, it sounds like that. Okay, so once we have this here, maybe we can lower the mix down just to have enough of the high end. Again, we're still giving the shape, but now with the mix at 89%, we have more of a sustain like this. From there, the last thing we're going to do is a bit of, I guess you could say, I wouldn't call it vector synthesis because I think that's the wrong term, but pretty much we're going to layer a sample on top of this because, again, we want it to hit. And for this, I actually decided to go with Attack Kick 27. Again, I went through all of them until I found one that I like. So now we have the attack click right there, and you can see how it's helping just provide the illusion of a little bit more punch to it. Now, the effects when you're creating sounds should usually accentuate the sound that you have, depending on what you're making. So for instance, in this sound, we pretty much have something that sounds very close and around the ballpark of what they have. But now from there, it's time to really like push it. Now, as a sound designer myself that sells presets for a living and does decent for himself, aka can support his family, his kids with it. When it comes to the effects, this is where a lot of people destroy the sounds. And I feel you have to treat it sort of as if you're mixing the sound in certain scenarios. Now, for this sound in particular, this is the way I'm going to treat it because the sound is already there. I feel like we can still push it and shape it more, I guess you could say EQ wise, but that's about it. Reverb, delay, boom. Nothing crazy like comb filters or flangers and stuff that's going to weaken the sound. So from there, I'm going to use maybe like a hard clip saturation so that, again, I'm not trying to push it too much. I'm just trying to add a bit of dirt. Notice that if the mix goes to 100%, I lose all of the dynamics, the punch in the sound. So it's a bit of a balance in order to kind of get that. So that's where the mix is going to go down. And then from there, I always use a filter after big, heavy distortion. The main reason for this is I want to regain back some of the dynamics that I created with my previous filter. And again, this one's going to be used. From there, we're going to use a bit of compression. The main reason here is that, again, I want to accentuate the attack. So that means an attack of 57 milliseconds and up is what we want to use. You don't want to go too high up because then you're just going to pretty much be doing nothing. So around 57. Now, the reason here that I'm compressing like this isn't, again, you guys, if you don't understand compression, always think there's a purpose for using it. But a lot of the times what people are doing with compression is dynamically shaping stuff. So in this scenario, the attack, aka the initial part of the sound, that tu, is allowed through. It's not getting crushed down. And then everything behind it is getting reduced in volume. That creates the illusion of like really high to really low all of a sudden, and that gives punch. That's how you create punch. Hence why we have an envelope like this with no sustain. This change in volume is what gives punch. Without it, again, you lose the punch. So with this, we're just trying to accentuate that just a little further. We don't have to go too hard, like, because you can see now we got punch, but now it sounds like you can hear the compressor, and that's very newbie. All right, so from here, we're going to EQ the sound, which is where we're really going to get rid of the low ends because the original track has a big kick. And then from there, we're going to EQ to accentuate the sound. Now, as I hear this, it is lacking a bit of punch compared to the original, so that tells me that I messed up somewhere along the lines of my filter, so maybe MG Low 18 is better. Pulling back on it, because again, I don't want it to open up all the way because I lose punch. From there, I'm going to mess with this guy here, maybe a little bit of resonance. We really do need this guy. Okay, from there, again, reverb, maybe a low cut, like... And then from there in the track, Kylo and Eli Brown do use a delay. Since the track is all about the kick and the bass, they have to find a way to create a little bit more atmosphere and texture in the song. And the way that they do it, obviously, is with the clap. the drums, and then delay on this bass. Now, I always recommend, if you are making music, again, this is the sound designer in me, I'm making patches for people to buy and use in their tracks. But if you aren't doing that and you're using these sounds for your tracks, make sure that you run return tracks. It's way cleaner. And the main reason for that is that you always maintain, again, that mono sound down the center. For instance, here we can use the Valhalla room in a way where we run it at 100%. So that dry signal's always there. It never gets reduced in volume. I can go to 100% on that send, and my dry signal is always there, providing that original sound, so I never lose it. On account of if I put it here, then you're going to run into the issue of, Okay, so from there, just a bit of reverb, and of course, the delay is what's going to really give this guy a bit of atmosphere. Okay, so from there, you know, if this is the part of the sound where I just, for the demo, I have a bit of a Faster Master O preset from Saturn's to make the sound. A bit of an EQ8. Now from there, again, as I hear this sound, there's a bit of highs, a lot of highs coming in now that I really don't like. So again, I can mess with the Fat Filter Saturn or mess with my programming on this side. So from there, let's mess with the programming. Maybe we're going too high up on this filter. Okay, so from there, I believe we need to put our interfaces down so that we have a constant, powerful sound. So from there, once you have the sound, as a sound designer, I'm always looking for opportunities for producers to do cool stuff with the sound. So this is where I set up mod wheels. What this could mean for you as a producer is the fact that you're going to set up mod wheels for you to create, execute pretty much ear candy and variation in the track. So the way you might do this is apply a mod wheel here. Pretty much what I'm doing here is playing with that wavetail position on the sound. The other thing you could do is set up another mod wheel here that's going to open up the filter with a bit of resonance so that you can use it maybe at the end of every 4 bars. You can also do really cool stuff with the chorus. Maybe have the chorus up. I don't know. This might seem a little dodgy, but we're going to do that. High feedback maybe like this. And you can see how that chorus helps in a way. So maybe you could find a way of doing it without losing your original basic sound. Alright guys, and that is going to be my tutorial on how to make sounds like Industrial Babe by Eli Brown and Hilo inside of Serum. Now, if you enjoyed any of the sound design that you heard in this video and you liked what you saw with the modulations, consider supporting Paradox Volume 3. It's going to contain more than 160 Serum presets for modern techno with a bunch of modulations, again, to help you create music that sounds interesting, has variation, and allows you to do ear candy with the sounds. With that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Paradox Volume 3 will be out this Friday, Thursday night, and I'll catch you guys next time. Much love, take care, and peace out.